Hey there, I'm Chef Ani, and you know what? Valentine's Day is right around the corner, which is so super exciting, especially for you people out there who have somebody special in your life. Now, if you do have somebody special, it is fun to make something that is going to just knock their socks off this Valentine's Day. And I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful, special Valentine's Day cake. And if you look closely, you'll see it is even heart-shaped and absolutely loaded with extra love. This is the perfect recipe to show those special people in your life that you care, because there's something about making something for somebody else that just shows love. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have anybody this Valentine's Day, it's okay. You can still eat this as a single person. And you know what? You get to eat the whole thing yourself. So, like, that's...
What's the problem with that?
What's the problem with that? Exactly. So I will walk you through it in the next couple minutes, and we will make a Valentine's Day cake together. So enough talking, let's get cooking. So we're going to get started by mixing together our dry ingredients. I have some flour here, and I'm going to sift the flour to make it extra light and fluffy, because we do want our cake to be fluffy and light in texture. This is going to get any lumps out of there and also throw some air back into this cake, because if your flour sits in a bag or a container, Tupperware container like mine does, then it does compact, and then it will compact your cake as well. And we don't want that around this Valentine's Day. Every other day of the year we can have compacted cake, but not Valentine's Day. We are going to add some sugar. I just sift that for good measure as well, because why not? Sometimes you get those clumps in sugar. You know, I use all natural cane sugar, and sometimes the cane sugar is a little too big to go in through the sieve. Then I just throw it in the bowl after. It's the thought that counts. Okay, we're going to do some baking powder going in. That is really important to sieve your baking powder, because that can be clumpy. Going to add some cardamom. I love to add this secret ingredient to my cakes because it's a Norwegian flair. It's part of my heritage. We put cardamom in a lot of things, a lot of baked goods, but it adds such a comforting, warm flavor, and I think it pulls the whole cake together, don't you think? A little salt going in there. I like to use a big whisk like this. I think it's called a balloon whisk, and we just mix everything really well. Now we're going to set that aside and work on our wet ingredients. So I have some plant-based milk, some lemon juice, and we're going to curdle this. This will help it be light and fluffy. So we're looking for a milk that is the least processed as possible, and if it's organic, that seems to be a very easy way to figure that out. So look for an organic brand, and as you can see, it's already starting to curdle here. I'm also going to add some oil to this and some vanilla extract. So I actually have a cake pan here that my sister gave me. It's in a heart shape, and I've just very lightly sprayed the bottom of the pan, not the sides, and I have a piece of parchment paper that I'm just going to put in the bottom, and it doesn't even go to the edges, it just sits in the middle, and this is just going to help make sure we get our cake out of the pan. So I have my baking pan all ready to go, and you want to have that ready before you mix together your wet and dry ingredients so that you have everything ready. So I'm just going to pour in my wet ingredients. You want to be careful not to overmix this, because then it's going to not be quite as fluffy and delicate. Lumps are okay though. We're not mixing until there's no lumps. We're just mixing until everything is combined. A spatula would have been a good idea before I got to this point. There's one in there? Okay. Oh, you are such a lifesaver. Thank you, Ma. See, we moved kitchens today. That's why I don't know where anything is, because Mom and I have been moving kitchens. How do you like this kitchen? Do you like it? Then I'm just going to spread it out a little bit on the top just to make sure it's even. And now we're just going to pop this in the oven to bake. So while our cake is baking, we are going to work on our frosting. I have some powdered sugar here, which we're just going to sieve, because you can see there is some pretty big clumps in here, which we don't want in our frosting. We want to make sure that's all worked out. Then when you get to this part and the clumps aren't really working themselves out, you take a spoon and you just help them along here. I'm also going to add a little vanilla powder, and this adds such a nice flavor to this frosting. So I have some vegan margarine here. Today I'm using Earth Balance, and we're just going to whip this until it's fluffy. And I also like to add a little bit of vegetable shortening. See my recipe for details. And then we're going to slowly add in our sugar. Now, one thing about my cake is that I normally make my cake less sweet and my frosting more sweet so that they balance each other. To assemble our cake, I'm first going to cut my cake in half. I am using a cake slicer here, but a knife will work too. And then I'm simply piping little dots of our beautiful frosting onto our cake. And then the final layer of cake goes on top, and then I'm going to decorate the top with some beautiful berries. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday with another video. And I want to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. All right, we'll see what comes out of my mouth when I open it.
Yes, go ahead and open it.